In no particular order, so which I confess, you tell us about some of these freight railways to give people an idea. As we pointed out at the end of last episode, freight is king in Australia. And why is Australia one of the most effective freight railway systems in the world? Well, we're going to have a look at some examples.
Well, what you've got there is a photo of a Rio Tinto iron ore train up in the Pilbara region of northwest Western Australia. These are the world's longest and heaviest trains. They are privately owned. They are run entirely as part of the production line of the mine to port operation.
Yep.
You can tell from the colour of the dirt there that it's built on iron. The whole place is rusting. So that's what causes the colour and of the ore you can see in there.
I mean, it is spectacular. That colour. It's yeah.
It is. I've got to admit, I've never been there, and most Australians haven't actually. It's about as far. Well, it's a bit like someone in Copenhagen not having been to Greenland. You know, to the extent that Greenland is part of Denmark, which I know it's not, but to the extent that it is, it's somewhat similar.
Yep.
But these things are enormous. I think there are 4 separate companies, and they all have their own lines, and they are intensely operated. And interestingly, there's even some trials of battery. It's the old battery locomotive, the old downhill charge when full, and battery hauls it back uphill, which is an interesting. I'll be interested to see whether that works.
Yeah, they're going to have to add a lot of extra mass for batteries on that. That's almost an episode in and of itself. But
mass is not what they're short of.
Well, quite. Well, yeah, but if there's someone, if you have, nearly a 10,000 ton train, which I think I'm getting my numbers right.
The record is about 10 times that. They're not.
So you're right. It's 99,000, was it? Yeah.
That's right. They're not all that. But they proved to themselves they could do that.
But I'm imagining you'd have to add, you're potentially adding 20-30% of battery mass to that. That is size becomes unworkable. So I don't know. You'd find it. Spoiler alert, folks. You might still find it cheaper to electrify, even in patches, than to rely on battery tech. But anyway, yeah. So
I mean, it's such a large part of Australia's industrial output that it may even be justified. But
I was going to say and then it might show that, and then the US. I have to say that sizable bits of US railway will be looking closely at what ends up happening there, because this is the test for a lot of things. Interestingly, it's also a test for P-way that works, because the tonnages along here are enough to basically, what looks like melt the track, but it's not melting it. It's just mechanically squishing the steel down so much that you have to have very specially designed rails to cope with the tonnages here. That the annual tonnages are absolutely beyond comprehension to Europe.
The climate, it's not unheard of for it to get to 45 degrees up that part of the country either. So it's a pretty harsh environment.
Yeah.